Hey people, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday. Sorry there wasn't anything to yesterday, just nothing really happened. It is almost the end of the month, and as such, it's almost time for me to return the 3 manga I checked out from the library. These. However, before I do so, I'd like to do something special. If you watch the guy who inspired me to be a vlogger, Steven Vlog, you'll know he's reviewed the, anime. I kind of don't care about it. But I figured, why not at least give these a review? And before you ask why I don't use my computer, well, I kind of looked at some of what I've recorded using the computer before. I'm not exactly the best sounding, and the image is mirrored for some weird reason. Sorry about that. The camera ran out of room. I'm kind of going to need to talk quickly. So, as I was just saying, today I'm going to be reviewing Megaman NT Warrior Volumes 1 through 3. Alright. I've made my notes. I've got my computer ready. And I am set to go. Just note there won't be any screenshots of the book. Don't want to risk a copyright strike, and I wouldn't have the time to scan the dumb thing. Sorry about the continually changing thing. I just need to make sure I was in view. Alright, so Volume 1, Chapter 1. We are introduced to our primary characters. Lan, Melu, Dex or Dax, I can't remember if it's an E or an A. Yai. And in the very beginning of the chapter, we see some of Dr. Wily's plans for this dimension. We also get some dynamic of Lan and this universe's version of Megaman. And then there's an attack on the school by Torchman, this universe's Fireman, and Megaman stops him. Overall, first chapter's pretty good. I'm trying to make sure my face is in view. Don't judge me. Alright, Chapter 2. We are introduced to this dimension's Roll, who belongs to Melu. Roll is Melu's net navi. Basically, their internet assistant, so to speak. So, they encounter Torchman again, who's NetOp, the person who owns and operates him, I guess you could say, wants to speak to Lan, and Torchman's owner pretty much offers Lan to join World 3, even though he doesn't know what it's about. Lan accepts, Megaman bails on him, to which Lan gets an off-the-shelf net navi, and then they encounter the police and Megaman. Lan pretty much says, "No way you're getting rid of my best friend," and Torchman is once again stopped by Megaman. Second chapter, really good. Okay, here we go. Next is Chapter 3. We are introduced to Akira, Lan's friend and a fellow prankster. We quickly learn that Akira is going to be moving away. Yeah. So the next day is his last, and they're going on a field trip that day. Lan actually ends up making a chip to disguise Megaman so they can take control of the train, but a virus infects the net navi in charge of the train overall, and the thing speeds up and is on a crash course with another train. Megaman and Roll proceed to go in and get rid of the virus, and they manage to avoid the crash. Akira moves away, and yeah, well, it's a bit of a bummer. I don't think we really know him from the games. I don't know. Anyway, Chapter 3 is amazing. Probably my favorite chapter out of the first volume. Alright, so, Chapter 4. We see Gutsman is actually a pretty capable fighter. So, that's interesting. Mr. Higsby is also introduced. He is a recurring character in the Battle Network games. Yeah. And Okay. We soon see that there's something going on at the school, because when Lan goes there late, the school's pretty much been locked up and boxed off. We see some police officers, who we don't know are the police officers at first, tell Lan to go home. Lan goes in regardless. Pretty much everyone in the school is hit by this brainwashing wave, and I'm just shocked that something like that even exists. Gutsman proceeds to try and fight Numberman, one of the first original net navies that wasn't based off the Robot Master, but is beaten. Megaman is able to stop Numberman by using the full synchro, but Lan ends up knocked out because of what happened. Overall, pretty good chapter. Okay, so chapter 5. Lan wakes up in a prison hospital and meets one of the police officers, Inspector Oda. Really? Just edit that out. Just keep going, Ian. Just keep going. Okay. Lan is then told that if he aids the police, he can be a registered net battler. You apparently need to have a license to net battle. I don't fully get that either. Anyway, the area is then attacked by a net navi I couldn't figure out the identity of. And despite being told to not aid, Megaman and Lamb pretty much go in and help, achieve full synchro and stop the attack, which is revealed to be a test, and Lan is given his license to be a net battler. There's a bonus chapter here which details when Lan first got Megaman, but not particularly important. Both of these chapters are good. Overall, first volume is really good and does a great job of introducing us to the world. Okay, now we're moving on to the next one. Okay, getting into volume 2. We are introduced to Shaw, a fellow member of the Net Police, and the second underage person to get a net battle license. Lan proceeds to tell Melu about getting the license, to which she thinks it's some sort of prank, since according to law, nobody under 18 is supposed to have one. That I really don't get. Why 18? Especially considering in the games we see tournaments with people roughly about the same age as Lan and the others. But whatever. Melu leaves after an argument, and after she leaves, Megaman reports about an email from Shaw to meet at an abandoned arcade. And, well, Lan proceeds to begin a battle with Shaw, and we are introduced to this dimension's Proto-Man. However, during their battle, a sapient net navi arrives who was a recon agent for World 3 and pleads mercy, but Proto-Man proceeds to delete him. Despite the fact Lan and Megaman achieve full synchro, Proto-Man beats them pretty badly, and Shaw warns Lan the next time they fight, Megaman will be deleted. This chapter is simply breathtaking and a great way to begin the second issue of the manga. The stakes are pretty great and the battle is intense. Alright, getting into chapter 2 of volume 2. We proceed to see Lan kind of just doing something that's not net battling, being skating. Megaman tells Melu about what happened in the last chapter, and Melu kind of thinks Lan's quit net battling. I kind of take offense to that thought. I won't say why. Regardless, Lan's not actually quitting, he's just training. Impressive. And Megaman also does some training with Dax and Gutsman. Lan ends up running into Higsby, who informs him that there's going to be attacking the cyber world by Stone Man, who has no net op. Lan proceeds to head back home to get Megaman, but Megaman's already gone on ahead alongside Gutsman to stop the attack. Lan ends up saving Megaman and Gutsman from certain deletion, and with full synchro, the duo when Mega Man are able to stop Stone Man. Overall, Chapter 3 is pretty amazing. Or Chapter 2, I mean. Did I say Chapter 3? I don't know. Okay. Getting into Chapter 3, we learned that World 3 has actually captured Land's father, and as a result of World 3 getting near the end of their plans, viruses begin to go over Dentex City and begin to cause electronics to malfunction and or blow up. However, things quickly escalate and get serious, as Melu informs Lan that Yai is trapped within her house due to the security system malfunctioning and somehow there's a gas leak. Mega Man and Roll are sent in to override the controls and get Yai out, but run into a problem when they meet up with Glide, who was infected by a virus. And I think Glide is the first character in the Mega Man series to be a Battle Network character and then appear in the main series game. And again, I think he was in one of the Mega Man Legends games. I really don't know. Alright. Proto Man shows up and nearly deletes Glide, but Mega Man stops him and manages to fix Glide and Yai is safe. However, Shaw informs Lan about what happened to his dad, and Lan heads off with Shaw to stop World 3. Chapter 3 is good. I'll admit the tenseness is a little bit much, but hey, tense can be good sometimes. Okay. Now we get into Chapter 4, with Lan, Shaw, and their navies getting into the Scilab building to stop World 3. However, Dr. Wily has unleashed the life virus, and is pretty much planning to delete major cities all over the world, and thanks to a power boost that, according to Lan's dad, is not finished yet, is going to give the life virus the power to do so. Mega Man, Proto Man, and a team of police Navi attempt to stop the life virus, but everybody but Mega Man and Proto Man are deleted. Lan's dad proceeds to tell them about a weakness in the power-up thingy, and thus Mega Man and Lan proceed to use full synchro, and they manage to stop the life virus, but at the cost of Mega Man's life. This is a good chapter, even if it's just a bit action-packed. Despite having 40 seconds left, I'm going to try and get through Chapter 5. Alright, so we cut to a little while after the battle with the life virus, and Lan's managing to hide the sadness he's going through. Shaw proceeds to inform him about his dad knowing a way to get into the cyber world and save Mega Man. Lan is sent into the cyber world with Number Man as a guide and Proto Man as a guard. While in the place known as the Undernet, they encounter Shadow Man, but luckily Mega Man is rescued and Shadow Man departs, but this leaves the group pondering who or what he is. Okay, so I ran out of room just as I was about to conclude Chapter 5, but Chapter 5 is great. I really like it, and yeah. Alright, last chapter of this volume, Chapter 6. A sushi maker named Mayas, I think I pronounced that correctly, and his net Navi wished about the hero who saved the world, but are angered when he is not at a tournament. And Sharkman actually argues to a cat net Navi, who I think is this universe's Tango. Rush Beat and Tango, as far as I can tell, are not in Battle Network. Anyway, various companies attempt to have Lan be part of their tournament, which is kind of reminding me of X from Pokemon Adventure. But Lan and Melu fake that Mega Man is still dead, and after those people leave, a comment that Melu made during that scene where they faked that Mega Man was still dead, the two briefly argue. Though the comment does kind of make me ponder if Melu is a tsundere. For those of you who didn't see Day 364, here's what it's defined as. A person who shows their aggressiveness and stubbornness on the outside, but they're sweet on the inside, they just don't admit it. I don't know much about Melu, so commenters who know more about Battle Network, please answer that part. Alright, moving on. I just was close out of room, so Mayasa meets Dex, and Dex ends up claiming he's the one who stopped the life virus. Mayasa then challenges Dex to a battle with Sharkman, and well, Sharkman wipes the floor with Gutsman. Lamb actually finishes another original battle chip, and Melu proceeds to inform him of what's going on. Roll proceeds to stop the fight, and Sharkman's more than a little bit ticked. Megaman proceeds to show up, and and the truth is cleared up, and they battle. Megaman uses his new weapon, the Mega Booster, which is a rocket pack, essentially, and they manage to beat Sharkman. Overall, this chapter is actually amazing. I really liked it. Overall, Volume 2 is great. Kind of concludes stuff from the first Battle Network game, and segueing into some new stuff. And I think I remember Mayasa and Sharkman from one of the few episodes of Battle Network I've seen. I don't necessarily remember, but I think I remember seeing them. Getting into the third and last of the volumes I got from the library. Alright. Megaman vanishes while looking into the internet and meets Skullman during this time. Lamb, Melu, Dex, and Yai meet Miyu, who is the owner of the mysterious shop, while looking for Megaman. Megaman attempts to fight Skullman, but Skullman knocks him around pretty easily. Lamb realizes where Megaman is and heads back to go and help him out. During the battle, Miyu senses a human soul within Megaman, which I will explain later because I don't know if the manga explains it like the game did. Megaman is able to beat Skullman with a program advanced battleship, which are incredibly powerful ones. Miyu apologizes for misunderstanding the bond between Lamb and Megaman, gifting them with rare chips as an apology, and she thinks that they can deal with the Black Shadow of the other net. Overall, pretty good chapter and a great start to the new volume. Alright. About 5 more hours to do this, and I've got about 5 chapters left to go. I think I can do this. Alright, Chapter 2 of Volume 3. Man is abandoned by his net-op, and he meets up with Blaster Man, and the two team up to take revenge on the net police. Man is obviously Man from Mega Man 1, and Blaster Man is Bomb Man. We learn that Oda has been promoted, and he takes his group of police out to celebrate, hit with land shot included in this. However, Man and Blaster Man attack the area, and Mega Man and Proto Man are sent in to fight them. The battle ends up going into the other net, and full synchro is revealed to be the only way to fight there effectively. Anyway, Mega Man and Proto Man easily beat the two, but the battle is interrupted by Bass. Honestly, this is really the only chapter thus far that's not really that great. It's meh at best. Alright, Chapter 3. Lamb proceeds to go on the offensive with Bass, and Shaw is kind of forced to help him. And while they do manage to shatter Bass's shield, he simply proves too much for them. Shaw ends up releasing full synchro and tells Lamb to do the same, but Lamb proceeds to not to. The full synchro disengages and Lamb's consciousness is sent into the cyber world. Bass leaves and Shadow Man rescues Lamb and Mega Man, and he proceeds to give them a map. This chapter was pretty good, although there's no explanation for how Lamb gets back to the real world. Alright, getting into Chapter 4. As Mega Man attempts to figure out the map, Roll, Gutsman, and Glide arrive and look at it, and see it's not exactly much. After that, a Met shows up. And their attempts to get rid of it are pretty much a failure. A portal appears and absorbs both the Met and Mega Man, with Lan activating full synchro to follow. Lan and Megaman meet a gate man, and he apologizes for what happened. Lan and Megaman are then introduced to a Met village somewhere in the internet. However, there's been an issue. A tornado has been terrorizing the village and the Mets in it. The tornado isn't natural, and as far as I'm aware, we don't learn what causes it. Mega Man attempts to fight it, but fails. Gate Man saves them, but says he won't save them if they try again. But luckily, thanks to the Mets, Mega Man is able to stop the tornado. The Mets then proceed to make a warp or something to the place that Shadow Man's map is guiding Lan Mega Man to. I honestly really like this chapter. It's actually kind of interesting to see that the viruses kind of have lives too. 2 more chapters. Alright. It is 7:24 right now, and I've got 2 more chapters left. Let's get going. Alright. Mega Man arrives in the desert, and Gate Man proceeds to give him a gate that will let him head back when he wants to do so. Meanwhile, back at Dentech City in the cyber world proper, Dex and Gutsman are trying to do full synchro, but it doesn't work. The Met from the previous chapter shows up and ends up ticking them off enough to make the full synchro work. And Mega Man proceeds to fight with a couple viruses natives to the desert area and gets overwhelmed, but Gutsman saves them. Yeah, I know, it's kind of surprising. The group then proceeds to head further and arrives at the temple. And while they're inside and looking around, the Gutsman and Dex's full synchro fails. Gutsman is sent out, which ends up leaving Mega Man Land with no way out, seemingly. This chapter is pretty good, although the ending's a little bit ominous, but nowhere near as ominous as the last chapter. Last chapter. Oh wait. I forgot to mention something. Okay, in the previous chapter, Mega Man ends up being Pharaoh Man. I don't know how I forgot to mention that fact. Alright, moving on. Pharaoh Man proceeds to tell them it's been 20,357 years since something living made into the temple, which Mega Man and Lan are disbelieving of, considering how long the internet's been around for. This was really... The Battle Network series, I think, was 02, 03. It was an early release Game Boy Advance game. I think, I can't remember. Anyway, during a flashback, some elements from the second Mega Man Star Force game are mentioned, of all things, being the continent of Mu and the Outbards. That's actually pretty interesting now that I think about it. Anyway, Pharaoh Man proceeds to tell them if they pass the test, they'll get some sort of treasure. Unknown to them at the time, base arrives. Mega Man needs to fight 4 foes, which are copies of himself for the challenge, but they end up using the style changes from the second and third games and easily smear him, ending with the cliffhanger of its survival. This chapter, breathtaking. Overall, Volume 3 was really great. And honestly, I can't recommend this series enough. If you have any chance to get it, do so. It's really good. It's the kind of book that I really like. The kind that leaves you wanting more. You want to see how it ends and how these characters will get through everything. Well, I'm gonna have to return these, and yeah. But this review's done. Although I don't know if there will be anything else today, but just in case, that'll be it for today. Shall I come back for another Pika vlog tomorrow? Assuming this is the last thing for today.